Rosé didn't just drop a song, she ignited a firestorm. Her newest solo track, Messy, came out of nowhere and immediately took over everyone's feed. But not for the reasons anyone expected. The sound was ethereal, the lyrics cut deep, and the visuals haunting. But it wasn't the melody that shook the internet. It was who showed up behind her. A Hollywood legend. A man who, let's be honest, doesn't belong in the same frame as K-pop royalty. At least not without a full-blown media circus following. What started as a dreamy, stripped-back video turned into a battlefield overnight. Rosé's quiet heartbreak anthem suddenly found itself caught in the middle of a massive backlash. Because right there, right in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip, just as the camera pulled back to reveal a moment of cinematic stillness, there he was, Brad Pitt. No warning, no intro. Just Rosé walking past neon lights, and in the background, unmistakably, casually, he appeared. And that 3-second cameo detonated the calm like a grenade. Fans weren't just surprised, they were stunned, confused, some angry, others defensive. The reactions were immediate and loud. To be clear, this wasn't some awkward green screen glitch or fan-made edit. This was real. Brad Pitt's face, calm and unbothered, drifted into frame for just long enough to be caught. And that was all it took for timelines to implode. People asked the obvious questions first. Why was he there? Was it intentional? Did Rosé approve it? And then the deeper ones started to surface. Was this a publicity stunt gone wrong? Or something darker? A careless decision made without her consent? Using her face and fame to soften a controversial figure? Because let's not pretend Brad Pitt comes without baggage. The second his name entered the chat, so did the headlines. The lawsuits, the accusations, the stories that Hollywood still hasn't finished unpacking. Within hours, the hashtag #ProtectRosé was trending worldwide. From Seoul to Sao Paulo, fans flooded the internet with support. Most weren't just mad, they were concerned. They pointed out that artists, especially in global partnerships, often don't get the final say in these kinds of decisions. And this wasn't just a solo song. Messy was tied to a Hollywood film. A huge one. The Formula One movie starring some of the biggest names in entertainment. Rosé co-wrote the track, sure. But the video, the final edit? That might have been someone else's call. And fans weren't having it. They demanded accountability, not just from the studio, but from anyone who thought sliding in a problematic Hollywood actor was good branding. Some blamed the producers, others blamed the system, and yet, in the middle of the noise, something else was happening. People started listening more carefully, not to the scandal, but to the song. Messy isn't your typical K-pop release. It's not drenched in dance breaks or visual overload. There's no sparkle, no pyrotechnics, just Rosé. Wandering, thinking, singing like she's bleeding quietly behind the smile. The lyrics hit like a confessional. Not manufactured vulnerability, but real chaos. The kind that creeps in when you've had everything and still feel empty. Fame, love, pressure, all tangled in soft verses and ghost-like choruses. Critics who once dismissed her solo work as too delicate suddenly changed their tune. Billboard called it cinematically brave. Rolling Stone dubbed it the soul of the year's most emotionally intelligent soundtrack. Within 48 hours, the track was climbing charts not just in Korea, but across Europe and the US. Rosé didn't say a word about the controversy. No tweets, no press releases, just silence. And that silence, it said everything. Because while others were reacting, Rosé was moving. And that's when things started to really shift. Fans in Los Angeles started spotting all 4 members of Blackpink, Rosé, Jennie, Lisa, and Jisoo, dressed in full glam, surrounded by production crews, stylists, and security. The rumors that had been floating for months suddenly had teeth. This wasn't just a Rosé moment. Blackpink was back. A now-deleted Instagram story from a stylist close to the group showed what looked like a giant soundstage with a cryptic caption. "That's a wrap." No tags, no location. But fans already knew. The comeback wasn't coming. It was already here. Quietly filmed, carefully planned, and if the pattern holds, aggressively rolled out across global stages. And this wasn't just a comeback. It was something bigger. Blackpink, long teased as crossing into Hollywood, seemed to be making that transition real. Not just brand deals or magazine shoots, but serious projects, serious teams, serious strategy. This was a new chapter, a riskier, bolder one. And Rosé? She's not just along for the ride, she's steering the ship. While Lisa dazzled on global tours and Jennie lit up Fashion Week, Rosé took the introspective route. Less spotlight, more substance. With Messy, she showed that quiet can be loud, that emotional doesn't mean weak, and that sometimes a whisper can be more powerful than a scream. She didn't chase headlines, she made one, and then let it burn itself into memory. There's something incredibly calculated about how this all unfolded. A haunting song, a controversial cameo, a global backlash, a wave of sympathy, and then, boom, a massive Blackpink reveal. If it was a coincidence, it was the most cinematic coincidence in pop culture this year. And if it wasn't, well, Rosé might just be the most quietly strategic artist in the game right now. Because here's the thing, no one's saying out loud. The cameo might have been the plan. Not to glorify, not to celebrate, but to provoke, to stir discomfort, to force people to stop scrolling and watch. Whether intentional or not, it worked. Because everyone's talking, everyone's watching, and Messy is still playing in the background. Rosé's artistry has always lived in the gray, between vulnerability and strength, between fame and anonymity, between what fans want and what the industry demands. And this release, this chaotic, elegant, controversial release, Nicomatis, is the purest version of that identity yet. She walked into the center of a Hollywood storm and didn't flinch, didn't apologize, didn't clarify. She simply stayed still, like the eye of a hurricane, and let everything spin around her. So where does that leave us now? With Blackpink gearing up to dominate again, the Rosé era isn't over. It's expanding. What started as a solo project is now the front line of a global shift. A K-pop group becoming a Hollywood powerhouse. A singer becoming a narrative architect. A moment becoming a movement. Was the Brad Pitt cameo a misstep? Maybe. Was it avoidable? Possibly not. But Rosé didn't collapse under the weight of it. She adapted. And that's what makes her dangerous. Not because she's flashy, but because she's fearless in her own quiet way. Messy isn't just a title, it's a thesis. Life, fame, heartbreak, growth, all tangled, all beautiful, all real. And if you think that was intense, wait until you hear what Jennie and Lisa pulled off at the Met Gala. Trust us. The new Blackpink era isn't coming, it's already here. Louder, bolder, and yes, a little more messy in all the right ways. Now tell us, was the Brad Pitt cameo a tone-deaf move or a misunderstood stroke of genius? Drop your take in the comments, and if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe because the next video dives into Jennie's viral red carpet moment, Lisa's Met Gala chaos, and the secret clues hidden in the comeback teaser that fans still haven't cracked. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned.